I mean, one of the things wonder's going to happen though, is that we're going to get a lot of people that feel that I can get a junior to put something into ChatGPT. It can write a press release for me. We'll put it out there. It probably won't work, but this is, but they'll look at it and go, this is easier. It's cheaper.
It did happen. And then very
Yeah.
quickly brands realized that, hey, I'm not getting the output that I want. And everything was, every sentence looked similar. Every press release looked similar because they didn't know what to ask. And very sheepishly, very quickly, they called a lot of these content writers back saying that, hey, could you help us with, just this part of a thing? Till all of them, I think it took about a year for them to get their jobs back.
I think PR people have also got to get a little bit more edgy too, because I think I look at the agencies that still do the spray and pray approach. And oh my gosh, you see some absolute, this has put my ex-journalist head on here. You see some appalling press releases being sent out and pitches that are just so generic and have nothing. And I think it is a bit of a wake-up call for the PR industry as well to say, no, we've got to try harder, because that's the only way we're going to be able to compete with generic AI. What do you think? I mean, Komal?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's in agreement, right? Everything has become, let's do it quick. Let's roll out 4 or 5 different things every week. I think when you do quantum, if not in focus, the quality, of course, will drop. But I think it's a two-way street. I think there's somebody demanding that for that to go out too, right? So I think when there is a unified function of saying, hey, this is where the outcome needs to be, let's work towards it. The journey is different. Not taking away from the fact that there's a lot of pressure on the juniors and senior management at agencies, which is also why I think this report throws very, very stark insights into what needs to be undone, which means that we need to create an environment and a certain job security for this entire piece to happen better.
Well, let's talk about that, actually, because I thought that was another interesting one. It talked about the complaints about long hours and about wanting higher salaries. When I try and play devil's advocate with this and I think about it, this is exactly the same complaints that I've heard from my entire working life. I mean, I think we've probably all made it ourselves plenty of times. We want more money, we want to work less hours. So is this just the reality of the industry? Or can something actually be done? Because nothing seems to have changed. What do you reckon, Tarunjeet?
I'm so glad you brought that up because that was one of the fundamental, insights that we wanted to bring out into this entire survey, right? Though we got some part of it, we didn't get a large part of it, which we are hoping to do in the next survey, because salary brackets were a little difficult for people to kind of reveal. But again, it revealed the same thing, that they want better raises, they want more raises. It's always the war cry every single year. And we thought we had gotten it done, like you said, but well, it's here again. So I think it's also got to do a lot with the cost of living. And like you mentioned earlier, it's economics, but it will work out if we do these increases, if we do these salary raises. It's going to be great for talent, but will it be great for agencies? Not sure. Because the retailer, it's great for clients as well, but will it be great for agencies? I think they are going to bear the brunt of it. And I think independent agencies are going to bear the brunt of it much more than any other agency size or agency community out there.
I mean, do you think that the talented people are the ones that are going to end up getting more money and better conditions anyway? And, I mean, we're looking at this from the point of view of running an agency as a business here. The reality is that PR is more interesting than sitting in a boring office pushing paper. I mean, I'm not dissing accountants or anything, but to me, that's my idea of hell. I couldn't do that as a day job. So to me, being a journalist doing PR was creative. It was exciting, and anything that is creative and exciting as a job is never going to be paid as well as that paper pusher. But the good people, hopefully, will be paid more because the agency will realize the value of them and keep them. So is this just pure economic reality, do you think?
It is going to be economic reality because end of the day, you have to put in the time. You have to put in all the hard work to be able to rise above and earn that gain your value and earn that amount, which will make you the best of the best. And then you can command your price. But I think PR is a very, very harsh industry as well. If you choose to be in it, it requires a lot more out of you. It requires a lot more I would say hard work, insight, and a lot more hours for you to be able to reach to the top.
Sorry.
Actually, quite interesting because they say in PR, your rise is very quick. Okay, but what we consider as quick is very different from all the other industries, all the other verticals in the comms industry.
Kamal, been your experience with this? I mean, you're a business owner, but you're also like an investor in other businesses as well. So you're very good with understanding the economic reality of business.
Which is why we had to get into investments, because just PR is not going to float Uno boat, and that's the harsh reality of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I echo the sentiment that there has to be multiple layers on economics, because it needs to change. And why is nobody moving the needle? I think everybody's trying to move the needle. We are also just needing to push ourselves a little bit more hard, but our long hours in this business don't allow us to push that many hours ahead. I think in this entire space, I think that there's a lot of layering to this, Richard. One part to run a communications firm, which is now also needing to build different verticals within themselves, right? It cannot be restricted only to earned. We do a fair amount of influencers under a division called Tribe. We do a fair amount of paid decision making and putting it out, because then the trifecta of it is really what makes the economics make sense, if I have to say it right. But putting yourself as an investor or putting yourself in academic shoes, it just gives you a very, very different insight, which you bring back to the business and then can grow it manifold. And it's also what we call as backward integration, right? Because then you know what's the working, why this works, and you get to also change a lot of the CEO and founder mindsets there.
What would you say is the biggest lesson that you've brought back then from the investor side of Komal to the agency side?
I think without naming names, I'm just going to say that the founder is someone who's very, very invested in how the business is also being looked at besides the P&L. That means the perception of the business matters as much, because the person or the business has to look that good for the next round of investment or an exit to happen. So they're very invested in it. But then when the layers start coming in of people wanting to have a point of view in it, is where that thing keeps getting diluted. It's like the Chinese whisper going in. Getting a seat at that table has helped us understand how they look at it, and therefore taking that to translating directly has been a much smoother ride than taking it via is my biggest take home. And I say understand it from their perspective and then change it, not to how many stories, but how can you say the story?
That's a bit like saying the whole thing about PR people, in my view, really helps to have had some journalism experience. In this particular case, being an agency owner, it's really helpful to understand how a startup works.
Yes.
Fascinating. Listen, we are running out of time, both of you. I just want to finish off by saying, what do you think is the main point that you got from this report about the challenges and the opportunities? So both challenge and the opportunity. Tarunjeet, let's ask you
Start with the
first.
challenges first. Some of the key challenges that we have, kind of revealed in this particular survey is one, the need for upskilling, the need for mentorship within the industry, better salaries, yes, and the need for community. A lot of people in the industry, a large part of the industry that, who actually responded to the survey, around 75% of them are not part of any community out there, not part of any official apex body or official organization within the PR industry, which I think needs to be looked at as a wake up call, because while everything else we keep, there will be multiple, I would say, multiple storms that we'll have to weather as the industry grows. I think the apex body or the governing body needs to try and make itself relevant for the younger generation. And a lot of opportunities. Yes, AI is a challenge and an opportunity, but I think there's a lot of opportunity for us as AI comes into the entire industry. For business owners, yes, it will mean a lot of ways that we can look at paying better salaries to the talents that we do hire, and also look at cost cutting on one end. And for the talent itself, I think it's a great opportunity for them to understand and learn how to upskill and create maybe faster ways of working or smarter ways of working. I think after a point, all we'll have to do is become good engineers, good prompt engineers, and be better editors.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely fascinating to see how it changes. And Komal, what about you? What do you see as being the hardest challenge and what the greatest opportunity from the report?
I think Tarun's covered all the points in there, but yes, upskilling will be beautiful. I think that journey of learning and learning of how this can be is fascinating because there's a new thing coming up every day, right? So to be able to apply that to storytelling in topical formats, I think would be fantastic. But then at a strategic level, how much impact it has is where comms can play a very important role. I think unifying under a body is yes, but it is also to do with how much buy-in do we need to get in, which becomes a threat. So I'm hoping that the younger generation or even the current generation finds a reason to make this a beautiful line of work stay relevant. I think we cannot be compared to a performance marketing agency. We cannot be compared to that function, which is increasingly what we hear when we get client briefs. So I think that distinction has to come in some way very, very clearly.
It's going to be fascinating. I hope I can check in with both of you again as we go through events that are changing so fast now. So we must check in again sort of in another 6 months, another year or something like that and find out exactly what you're feeling about how it's changing. Because as you say, I mean, I slightly wonder if we're all going to have to become engineers rather than PR people. It's not going to be enough because we're still going to have to do the work, but how much that is going to become prominent. Thank you so much. If you'd like to both just tell us how we can get in touch with you again, just before we round up. Komal?
Thank you for having me, Richard. One can get in touch with me on LinkedIn. Just search for Komal, Komal, space Lath.
We'll put it on the screen. If you're watching the video version of this, you'll be able to see
thank you, Richard, for having me on this podcast. And, this conversation with you and Komal has been fantastic. If you want to get in touch with me, to all your viewers, if you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I am on this ID. So I'm on this link and you can reach out to me. I'm very active on LinkedIn and let's have a conversation about everything PR.
And I'll put the links in the show notes as well. Thank you so much to both of you. It's been absolutely fascinating. As I say, we must do this again in a few months' time.